We've made it. Welcome to season 3 of the Weekly Gridiron podcast. We are your hosts, Adam
Dante,
and Luke.
let's go.
I couldn't think of a better way to celebrate my 22nd birthday than with
Happy
you.
birthday, Adam.
Thank you. Thank you, boys. Thank you. All right. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into it. I want to shout out Dante for making this beautiful PowerPoint we will be using weekly on the
Yep.
Weekly Gridiron to
Had to
game.
update the presentation. I heard me and Luke talked before, and people were like, I don't know whenever you guys are picking my team's games. And now
Yeah.
this will allow our viewers to know whenever their games are being picked. So
What if the fellas are at the gym and
right?
warming up on the treadmill and only have 5 minutes and they want to watch and find out what we think of their team's game? There you
Totally.
go. We
Yeah.
got you covered.
Yes, sir.
And I will shout out Luke for the game picks graphic he's got coming out real soon. I'm not going to spoil anything yet, but
Yep.
y'all are going to love it. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, boys, shall we begin?
Yes, sir. Let's do
Here
it.
we go. And we start with the time currently is about 8:20 on Wednesday, September 4th. So this is the night before this game, but tomorrow night, now at the time you're watching this video, we've got Thursday night football to kick off the year. Ravens and Chiefs, 8:20 p.m. Eastern time. Boy,
Good game.
we've made it. We're here. We're here. It's NFL football. It's back. And we've got a crazy game to start off the year.
Yes, sir.
So who wants to go first?
I could go first.
Go
Do
for
it.
it.
First of all, so happy to be back. So happy football is back. At this game, I couldn't think of a better game to start the year. Rematch of last year's AFC Championship, where the Ravens choked, where the Ravens did not run the ball when they were supposed to run the ball. However, now in Week 1 of 2024, both these teams look very different on paper. More specifically, the Ravens, and the addition of Derrick Henry, that's huge. The Ravens running game is going to be the best it's been in years, and that says a lot because it's been towards the top of the league for years. And then the Chiefs have only gotten better, honestly, through the draft and through free agency. But since this game is in Arrowhead and since the Chiefs have only gotten better somehow, I'm going to go with them in this game.
Adam, do you have any
You're
thoughts
going
or
Chiefs,
bounce
huh?
it back to me?
Yep, I'm going Chiefs.
All right. Luke, are you up next or you want me to go?
I can be.
You want to go or me? It's your choice.
I will go because as as I have realized is a phrase I say often on here. I will piggyback off of Dante's uh spiel there, and I'm going with Kansas City as well. Both teams are improved for sure. The addition of Derrick Henry, he's still got some miles on those legs. I'm very excited to see what that turns into this year. Um, but I'm not sure it's going to be quite enough week 1 to know how to defeat this team that ended their season the prior year. The Chiefs, as you said, got better. Last year, let's be real, they had some glaring weaknesses on their roster. And
Totally.
this offseason, they addressed those. The running game never was one of them. It's not like they have a weak running game. Isaiah Pacheco is super talented. And now Mahomes just has more people to throw to and a little less Kadarius Toney, which can help anyone. So, this being in Arrowhead, this being the first game of the year, I would be the last person to ever say that the NFL is rigged, but it's good for business, I think, if the Chiefs win this game. And coincidence or not, it will be, but the Chiefs are going to win this game.
All right. I'll make my pick easy. Boys, sing with me. Welcome to the
Red
what's
Kingdom.
this? Give me the Ravens.
Wow.
All right.
Shout out
All
Pat
right.
McAfee for the switch up. If
Dude
you
thinks
need
he's
that
Pat
on the
McAfee.
clip.
All right.
You remember the clip of George
Yeah.
Alabama.
he said, "Give me
Hey,
Alabama."
and he was right in that game.
He
So
was right, and I'm gonna be right in this one too. If I remember anything about the Chiefs on opening night, ring night last year, they were slow to start out the season. Now, given that was without Chris Jones, and I believe without Travis Kelce too,
Yeah.
they do have both those guys this time, but this is a Ravens team that, excuse my language, I don't swear a lot on here, is pissed off from last year's AFC Championship.
Whoa.
Sorry. They
language,
are they're hungry for a win to start off the year. And what a better place to do it than against a team that knocked you out last year. I think they haven't forgot about last year and they want to make up for it. And I think they're going to start out strong.
Nice. All right.
Next up, we move to, I believe this is the first ever Friday night game to open up the season.
this is Friday night.
This is Friday night. Exclusively on Peacock. So
Oh, really?
don't have a subscription.
Oh,
Luck, I guess.
We'll slide you that password if we're busy.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt.
my goat. Thank you.
But we got the Packers taking on the Eagles in Brazil. Not just a Friday night game, it's in Brazil.
Oh my God, dude.
And we know all the controversy with the green in Brazil right now, I guess.
Not really controversy. It's just kind of stupidity.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I'll put my opinion out there. Why play a game in Brazil? Brazil, I'm sure, is a beautiful country. I've never been there, but with what we know, why put a game right there?
That's what I've been saying.
You've got
And why
players that
put
don't
two
wanna go.
green teams? Why two green teams?
Could
Not
not
just
be
one,
the
but
best situation.
two.
Like,
They
dude,
had to know that. I mean,
why not
I-
put the 49ers and like the Vikings? Like two teams
right?
that have green, dude. Like, no.
I don't know. I'm sure they'll be fine because of the NFL.
Yeah.
We're talking about, you know. Anyways, I'm sure they'll be fine because it's the NFL. The NFL doesn't answer to anybody, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But hopefully, at least this is a good game. Hopefully, the people of Brazil get their money's worth, and hopefully we do too, paying for Peacock.
Yeah.
So who do we got?
I went first last time, so you guys could go.
This is a tough one. Do you have it, Adam?
Yeah, I'll go with my gut. I'll take the Eagles. They're technically the home team in this one. I feel like Philadelphia has a way larger fan base than Green Bay. So if anyone's fans are going to show out, it's going to be Eagles fans. So I bet you, I mean, they are the home team and it'll feel more like a home game for the Eagles. So for that reason, give me Philly, but literally for that reason only, because for these two teams, it is about as close as it gets. It's going to be tough, but I've got the Eagles winning. It'll be very close and exciting though.
So I can go to comment on that. I know we're really in the eye of the storm of Philly fans here in State College, Adam. I would bet that the fan base numbers are closer than you would think. There's quite
Probably.
there's quite an army of Packers fans out there. I know different part of the country, but that's not to say they'll travel better or that there are more in Brazil for any reason. But
Trust me, Luke, not to interrupt you on the travel aspect. Being a Phillies fan, I know those fans really travel for their team. You should have seen the crowd of Phillies fans that traveled to London for the London series for the Phillies and Mets this year. It was insane.
Brazil
Not to
isn't exactly London.
pick, but I'm just saying. That's all.
There's a difference between Brazil and London, but we're talking about football here. So I am going to go with the Eagles as well. I like the Packers. I think they're going to have a good year. I drafted Jordan Love more than once. But I don't think it's going to start week one. I think they could definitely start slow like they had before. Last year, they definitely got off to a slow start, really turned it on around midseason. I'm not saying the exact same thing's going to happen. I think they'll be fine pretty much from the start. But I don't think this game. I think this game, when you're looking at week ones, we're talking about preparedness. We're talking about mistakes will be made on both sides. Who has the firepower to overcome those mistakes in a more meaningful way? I think it's the Eagles. I think they just have more talent all around. The defense has always been an anchor point of that team. And the Packers, as good as their offense can be, and I am excited to see Josh Jacobs in that offense. But then you go to the Eagles landing Saquon and all these sorts of things. And I think they're going to want to set the tone for that division by starting off the year with a strong week 1 victory.
So you guys saw, well, if you haven't, but on our Instagram, we made our AFC and NFC preseason predictions about who's going to win each
Go
division.
check it out if you haven't seen it.
True. And I predicted the Green Bay Packers to win. Spoiler alert. I predicted the Packers to win the NFC North, win the NFC, and ultimately win the Super Bowl. And I truly believe that. And I truly believe in Jordan Love and this entire offense, Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, and even Romeo Dobbs at the 3. But all of these receivers are very good. The addition of Josh Jacobs is huge. And the Packer defense is still very good. And then on the Eagles side, adding Saquon Barkley and actually giving him a competent O-line to run behind is huge. And I think he's going to have a big year. However, I am going to go with the Packers here. I think I just think they're the better team. That might be a hot take, but I think the Eagles are a better team on paper, but week in and week out, the Packers have a great game plan with who they play. And yeah, I'm just more confident picking Green Bay here.
I don't hate that, and I don't even hate you saying that they are the better team. And I think some of that does boil down to the fact that the Eagles look better on paper. There's a lot of talent in the Eagles locker room, and I'm not saying that there's any sort of bad culture there. I know that in Philly, they're all about their culture, but that can also get a little bit inflating. They might get some big heads over there. What I'm trying to say is, I think it's to the Packers' benefit almost that they don't have anybody that's demanding $30 million next season other than their quarterback. But you know what I mean? They don't have anybody that is like taking up 10 players worth of attention. And so I think that they play the game in a beautiful way. I think they're super well coached. I would say they're better coached than the Eagles.
Yeah, totally. I would take
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur 10 times out of 10 over Sirianni. I mean, I'm sure you guys may agree with me, but yeah, I'm not high on
Yeah.
Sirianni like at all. So I agree with that point of Luke.
So would I. And the Packers, I think last year, they surprised some people. I mean, obviously Jordan Love had skeptics. He had people that thought he was going to be good, but in the little flashes we had seen him when they still had Aaron Rodgers, nobody was quite sure. So they had to fight for everything they got last year, and they really made it farther than anybody expected them to. So I think they still have that same be the first one to run through the brick wall kind of attitude. And I think that'll benefit them, even though I'm still picking the Eagles in this game.
Totally.
All right. Here we go. First
You want to
Panthers.
start us off, Adam?
What'd you say?
Resident Panthers fan. Do you want to kick us off here?
I shall. If you saw me get up, I was missing my light blue marker, so I found it. Not that I am gonna write the Panthers down for anything, but let's get to it. First game of the Carolina Panthers 2024 season. For the second straight year, they are opening up on the road against a division rival. Last year was Atlanta, and we lost 24-10. I don't really want to remember anything about that game. This year we got the Saints on the road, and I definitely think it is a much more winnable game. But I'm not going to pick the Panthers to win. This will be my first time, I think, ever, or in the last 2 years at least, not picking us to win, unless I change my mind. But right now I'm thinking we're not going to win, only because I watched the preseason. This team waited until the third game of the preseason to play their starters. That is just not a strategy you should have. That I've agreed with mostly everything Canales has done so far. That I did not agree with, because you want to get Bryce Young some more reps, some more experience, and these guys are straight up going out flat in the first week of the season for the most part, other than the one drive or one quarter of experience they had in the preseason as a starting unit. And that was even with a lot of guys hurt. So I feel like they're going to be a little flat to start the season. I think it could be a close game. I think that could make it interesting. I definitely have better hopes for Bryce Young this year than I did last year. I'm hoping he could improve. That's really my key this year, is improvement, not wins. We win 7 games, cool. We win 5 games, it's nice. I want to win maybe 2 or 3 more games and be more competitive. I want the whole team to improve, but I will be going to Saints week 1, but I'm excited for the season and hopefully to see some better Panthers football. That's really all I care about. So
I'll go.
That's all.
Adam, don't count your Panthers out in this game. I could definitely see them winning this. If
I can too. It's just I don't know.
I
If
am,
I'm basing it off last year, the Saints really destroyed us both times we played them.
yeah, I am going to go with the Saints. However, I think the Panthers have a true shot of winning this game if Bryce Young could get the ball consistently to Deontay Johnson and Leggett, and like if the Panthers can move the ball in this game, I could really see them winning. But I'm going to take the Saints.
Fair enough. Hey, I could see us winning too. We just, it's about doing it.
Hey, I'll be rooting for y'all.
Hey, I will be too. I
I
appreciate
think we all
you.
will be.
I'm an honorary Panther fan this year. I really want them to do well, but
I appreciate you. You know I love the Steelers. So.
yeah, dude. And I hate the Patriots. So.
Where'd that stray bullet come from?
Not right now. I mean,
Man, you can't even pretend to like us when we suck.
oh man, you beat us in the AFC Championship like 3 times. I don't want to. No,
Yeah, well, now I'm upset. Now I got to take it out on someone. I'm
just
sorry, Adam. The
I don't
Panthers
know.
are not winning this game.
I don't hate the Pats. Don't worry.
Oh, I know you're good. You definitely do. That's fine. Yeah. Unfortunately, Adam, I'm sorry. I got the Saints here, but
It's
I kind
fine.
of agree with Dante. It's not as black and white as it seems. The Saints are definitely going to be an interesting team to watch this year, and for not all of the right reasons, if I'm being honest. I like Derek Carr as a guy, and he was fun to watch in a couple of those Raiders seasons for sure. But I'm not sure about him. I think that there is a lower floor, to his game and to the Saints season that people realize. And I might even go as far to say that the floor with Spencer Rattler is a bit higher than the floor with Derek Carr. Not that we're going to see him right away or even this season at all, but I'd be intrigued for that. What I'm trying to get at is for years now, and this is no real secret anymore, the Saints have just been kicking the can down the road as far as things like their salary cap goes, their roster construction, um, offensive answers. We're gonna have to find out sooner or later when the wheels are gonna fall off Alvin Kamara, and I don't necessarily think that's this year, but he was certainly missing some time last year, and Father Time catches up to everybody. He's got some miles on his legs, and like I said with Derek Carr, all of that they could fire the coach. Some storms are brewing here, where I think they're going to be an interesting team to watch this season, and not for all the right reasons, but for week 1, for a game like this with the history it has. I want to see some improvement out of Carolina as well. Adam, you're right. I wouldn't get your hopes up. I'm not going to write it off, but I don't think the Panthers are going to be able to win week 1. I'll put it that way.
I agree. And before we go on, I told you boys I would bring this up at some point in the episode. As of 8:37 p.m., I'm officially 22 years old.
Let's go! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
You all. Much love to y'all.
And right at 8:37, we're all picking against the Panthers. That's so.
That's okay. That's just the way it works, man. It's all good.
Ooh, yeah. Well,
all right. Now we can all
and-
team up and pick against somebody because I
was going to say, as another present, let's talk about this not so interesting game. That being the Vikings and the Giants. Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones Bowl.
This is like the John Cena Rock meme.
Once in a lifetime kind of matchup.
Once in a lifetime, dude. Daniel Jones versus Sam Darnold in 2024.
I don't know, man. Maybe Sam Darnold has a turnaround year and they decide to send JJ McCarthy to Singapore or something. We'll see.
Who knows?
But
I know
let's
who
pick
I'm
this
with
game.
this game.
What'd you say?
I know who I'm taking.
Yeah,
We'll go for it because I can infer just from looking at these two logos who I should take, but I guess I'll think about it for a second.
I'm gonna take the Vikings here. I mean, better team overall, especially offensively. I mean, Sam Darnold or not. I mean, this team is much better than the Giants' offense. Jefferson is gonna carry this team, put him on his back. Addison's going to have a good game. I don't know about Alexander Madison, to be honest with you, but
Believe it or not, he's not even there anymore.
he's not.
Is he
No, I
not?
don't think so.
What?
I think
Oh,
he's in Vegas.
I think
Oh,
you're.
they got Aaron Jones.
Oh, duh. So sorry.
I was forgetting too.
Aaron Jones,
I'll
even
look
better.
it up just to fact check myself.
Well,
Certainly.
Yeah, he's apparently in Vegas.
oh well.
That sounds
Unless
right.
you brought up Alexander Madison, I would not have remembered that, to be fair.
Shows how much I know about. Shows how much I care about Alexander Madison. But Aaron Jones, even better running back, proves my point even more. Um, they did lose Eric Hendricks, which is disappointing.
Tough,
He went to Dallas, if I'm not mistaken.
I think.
Yeah. And then the Giants have Malik Neighbors.
They do.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings here. I can't name anybody else. I mean, what's his name? Bellinger? Isn't that a tight end for the Giants?
Daniel
Bellinger. Daniel Bellinger, I think that's his name.
I
Hold
guess
on.
Cody Bellinger has the height for it.
What's that?
I said I guess Cody Bellinger has the height for it.
Yeah.
Since you say it, shout out Cody Bellinger, man.
Oh, shout it out, dude.
Pleasure.
Yeah. You're forgetting about the future Hall of Famer Devin Singletary.
Oh my God.
I almost threw up in my mouth when I picked him in a fantasy league last night just because who else do they have? I bet he's gonna get some workhorse points.
I know ball. Daniel Bellinger.
Let's go.
Yeah, sure enough. I wouldn't have known.
The
In fact, I already forget what team you're saying he's from. So off that note,
successor.
if you don't mind me leapfrogging you, Adam, I'm gonna pick the Vikings as well. I like Brian Dable, but they had one playoff win, and I think that was more than they deserved in an entire decade of Daniel Jones happening. So they paid him, and they're going to get what they paid for. Not exactly, but the Vikings have more of the dots are going to connect. You can say that for pretty much every other 31 of the teams in the NFL other than the New York Giants. I think I could be surprised, but who cares? The Vikings, like you said, Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison. There's talent there. TJ Hawkinson, if he's going to play.
Hawk. I
They
forgot
have
to
they have some talent on the defensive end. I'm not going to say they're better coached, but, Kevin O'Connell's, he's good enough at what he does, I think. And I think, I'm not going to ramble on about this game. So give me the Vikings.
Yeah. I mean, and I assume Adam's gonna pick the Vikings.
Yeah. I was going to say, I got to show respect to Panthers legend Sam Darnold. He wasn't totally horrible at the end of his tenure here. But, yeah, I mean, like Dante said, the Vikings have Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson. The Giants have Malik Neighbors, whatever's left of Devin Singletary. Darius Slayton, woohoo, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, give me the Vikings. Even if Sam Darnold's in there, if he can make something out of the offense he has in front of him, that should be more than enough to win. All right, Luke, go for it.
I wish I could say I would change my answer depending on whether or not Jamar Chase suits up. It seems like he's going to. He was at practice today. There's a possibility he doesn't, but it is not going to change my answer. I love the Patriots. I like Jacoby Brissett. I trust Gerard Mayo, even though he had been sending conflicting signals all offseason until he finally announced the QB1. I think our offense is a little bit better than people give us credit for. No Kendrick Bourne for 4 weeks, but we can get over that hump. I like him, but he's not our premier guy at any point. I'm excited to see the revamped run game, Antonio Gibson. I'll give him a chance, although I wanted Ezekiel Elliott back. But at this point, Ezekiel Elliott probably isn't getting any better. Ramondre Stevenson, we just invested in him 3 or 4 years, I think, something like $12 million a year. That's an investment. I want to see it pan out because last year I wasn't very impressed by him. That's why I'm kind of avoiding him in fantasy this year. But I'm willing to give it a chance. I think Jacoby Brissett will be fine. I think people overreacting that he's going to be a disaster and Drake May will see the field by week 4. I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't mind that either. I don't know if we've touched on that on this show, but just for a quick 10 seconds, I don't mind the decision to sit Drake May. He's the most talented quarterback on the roster, and he played the best in the preseason. So if you do the math, he should be starting, but our O-line is it's it's like as dense as air itself. You can walk right through it. So I don't want to see him get killed week 2. Which is probably going to happen week 1 to Jacoby Brissett. We'll see. Maybe we'll call up Brian Hoyer and see what he's up to. But nothing can save us from this loss that's coming. Yeah, I mean, funny stuff happens. It's the NFL. Like just 2 or 3 years ago, I think only 2 years ago, the Bears beat the Niners week 1. Things happen. It's the NFL any given Sunday. So I think we could win this game. I'm not going to write it off, but I'm never going to write pretty much anything off. I can't in good faith pick us here until I see something. And I think that people aren't giving us quite enough credit as we deserve for the way our defense is going to play. I'm so stoked for Christian Gonzalez this year. And I think our offense can be better than people are expecting. But honestly, behind this offensive line, maybe not, depending on even if it's more talented than people are giving it credit for. So it's going to be a long season, and I think it's going to start 0-1. But we've started 0-1 the past couple years, and crazier has happened. But I'd be surprised if we won.
I'll go. Luke, just so you know, the blue marker I'm using to represent the Patriots in this game does say once in a blue moon on it. So
That's wild.
in a blue moon, it could happen, but
More like once in a blue moon, Jacoby Brissett will have a clean pocket.
fair enough. No offense, Luke. I will be going with the Bengals too, but I feel like
none taken.
that. But like you said, any given Sunday, maybe the Pats can make it interesting. But who knows? I mean, it'll be Gerard Mayo's coaching debut. Is that how you say his name? Gerard Mayo? Jared Mayo? Does it matter?
I'm not quite sure.
I think it's Gerard.
I'll go Gerard, but yeah, it'll be his coaching debut, so it'll be cool to see how he does. Pats have nothing to lose, so just go out there and fight. But I will be going with the Bengals. I mean, it's Joe Burrow's first game back, so I feel like he could have a good game, but we'll see what happens.
It's one thing I want to bring up. Now, this is a totally different team, but Christmas Eve 2 years ago, we played the Bengals. I vaguely remember this game, and I was wondering why. It's because it was super bizarre. It was 22-0 Cincinnati at halftime, and the final score was 22-18. And I remember we had a 2-minute drill for a chance to win that game. And I guess at that point we were only 7-8. That was 2022. We were actually somewhat respectable that year. But point is, the Bengals and the Patriots is a bit of a weird relationship, and so I'm not going to write it off. But Joe Burrow has probably been itching really hard to get back on the field in real action, and I don't think our defensive line is going to be able to disrupt him enough to keep it as close as it needs to be to give us a chance.
That's fair. I think, honestly, Drake May, if he was playing in this game, I might just pick the Patriots. I'm just saying, because that dude looked unreal in the few
He
snaps.
looked good.
He looked so poised. He looked like a veteran, and he was making throws. I know it's the preseason, but it counts for something, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals here, regardless or not if Jamar Chase plays, which like Luke said, it seems like he's going to. And I hope he does because he's one of my starters on my fantasy team. But that's the point. Yeah, we'll see how Joe Burrow plays. First game back after not playing since I forget what week last year, but in the regular season he got injured and was out for like a while. But yeah, I'm gonna take the Bengals here.
All right.
That's all that. That's fine.
Dante, kick us off.
Steelers.
Unlimited. All right. So
Limit.
diarrhea poop. The Steelers are about
most normal Russell Wilson video.
Anyway, week 1, the Steelers going to Mercedes-Benz Stadium to play Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons. And bit intriguing quarterback matchup here. Kind of a weird one too. I mean, 2 veterans making debuts for brand new teams with a lot of question marks. And I think this is going to be a scrappy, classic Steeler game. However, I think the offense is going to play much better. And I think our defense is going to really make a statement in this game. I think they're going to make it hard for Kirk Cousins First game off tearing his Achilles, and he has to deal with TJ Watt and throwing to JPJ and Minka Fitzpatrick and a bunch of other guys, and then hopefully Patrick Queen and E-Rob can plug up the holes. But I'm really focusing on how Russell Wilson plays this game and how specifically our wide receivers look, because the whole talk this offseason has been, well, the Steelers need a wide receiver too. The Steelers need another wide receiver, which I totally agree. And but if Van Jefferson can perform, if Calvin Austin could finally be the next Tyreek Hill like we all wanted him to be, that'd be great. And I think Russ is going to be good. And yeah, I think I'm going to take the Steelers in this game, but it's going to come down to our defense because I think our defense is just going to be too much uh, for this Falcons offense. And also, forgot to mention the Falcons have had some key additions such as Luke, your boy, Matt Judon. And
Yep.
honestly, if this was 2019, they have the best safety duo in the league in Jesse Bates and Justin Simmons. No disrespect to those guys because they're still very good. Anytime you have Bates, Simmons, and AJ Terrell in the same secondary, that's going to make it hard for any quarterback. But outside of those four guys, I don't really see much going on with this Falcons defense, and I think Russ is going to find his opportunities and he's gonna seize them. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Steelers here. Arthur Smith revenge game. Let's go.
All right. Luke, you want to go?
Sure. Yeah. I was going to say that's an interesting wrinkle. I totally forgot about the Arthur Smith thing.
Mhm.
Um, I like what you're saying about Russell Wilson. I think this is a good start for him here. A team that shouldn't be too difficult, but they aren't just going to roll over either.
Mhm.
It'll depend on the offensive line, which has been revamped a decent bit. It should be better than it has been in the past. The run game, I'm excited to see back in action. They certainly figured something out at the end of last year, and I'm excited to see how Arthur Smith uses it. To go
Jeremy,
the tight end.
Darnell Washington.
Yeah, Darnell Washington.
my bad. You guys just froze for me for like 15 seconds. My
Oh,
bad.
all right. Well,
That's
that
okay.
means we froze for the recording. So let me fill it in. I was just saying, I'm excited to see how the running backs are used. I think the tight end should be used. I'm excited to see Arthur Smith and double set tight ends. I forgot who Darnell Washington's
Darnell
name
Washington.
because
Yep.
he isn't used as much as he should be. I'd like to see that change this year, especially with what you said, the lack of wide receivers.
My bad. My bad.
So it'll be an experiment for Russell Wilson. But luckily for the Steelers, it's also going to be an experiment for Kirk Cousins, who has more to throw to. He has Bijan Robinson as a kind of security. But I don't think he can so simply lean on those guys. He has to get the ball to where it's going because the Steelers defense, talking about not rolling over, they never roll over. They keep themselves in the game. And more often than not, the Steelers come out with some wins that looked hopeless at times. So Russell Wilson is going to be an improvement over Kenny Pickett. And I think that this is one of the kind of weird games they might have won last year. And I'm going to pick the Steelers. You're right. I have a bit of a question mark about the Falcons defense. As much as I do love Matt Judon, I was fine with trading him, and I'm not going to declare him some newfound epic success for the Falcons until he becomes that, which he needs to stay on the field first of all. But against the Steelers, it'll be interesting, and I'm going to pick the Steelers.
Go.
Gentlemen, we have clean swept on all the games about our teams.
And only one of those was fun to do.
But I will be going with the Steelers as well. You know I don't like the Falcons, but you know I also think this could be a close game.
Totally.
It's Kirk Cousins. If it were prime time, y'all would win by 30 because it's Kirk Cousins.
Hey, I
But
love Kirk. No hate to Kirk. I love him.
I know, me too. Anyways, I was gonna say that's why it hurt so much when Kirk went to the Falcons because I like Kirk, and now I have to root against him 2 times a year and
Yeah.
most of the other weeks. Anyways, I think, Russell Wilson and the Steelers team. I was telling my dad tonight, I feel like they're gonna get off to a really good start this year, and Russell Wilson's gonna look good the first few weeks of the season. Who knows what's gonna happen after that? But it'll be up to the Steelers to see if they can carry that momentum through the rest of the season. But it's also a good thing if the Steelers start off really well because that second half of the season schedule they've got
Yeah, we
after
need to.
the Commanders game, that is just brutal.
But we play our best ball in division play and late in the year. So if we want to control our own destiny, um, we'll have it right there with division play. So, and
I yeah.
sorry,
Go
Adam.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say one more thing I'll mention about this game is, Luke, I don't know if you mentioned it while you were frozen for me, but Kyle Pitts is limited at practice and he's questionable for this game. So who knows if he even plays? And I think that'll be. I mean, we make the joke that Kyle Pitts has been, far from number 4 overall potential. Um, but who knows what his role will be in this new offense led by Zach Robinson and Raheem Morris. But if he's out, I think that would be a huge advantage for the Steelers. But anyway,
Yeah, I did not mention that. That's a good point.
All I was gonna say was, you know, teams could beat the Steelers, but one thing I've noticed in watching Steelers games, it is rarely ever easy to beat the Steelers. There were, I think, only 2 games last year where they just got flat out destroyed, and that was the 49ers week 1 and the Texans a few weeks later.
yeah,
Other than that, all their losses, I feel like were close.
yeah,
The Steelers play a gritty type of football that it's never going to be easy to beat them, which is a good thing. So,
yeah. We kind of got blown out by the Cardinals, but like,
oh, I forgot about and the Colts too. But okay, last year was last year.
And this team and that team. And now that you mentioned the other team,
We're on to 2024.
and we
No,
made it close with the Patriots, but like, oh man.
no
Anyway,
more Whiskey Pickett, the whole
we got
9.
Russell Wilson and Fields. I'm cool. Anyway, next game.
All right.
Speaking of the Texans,
Divisional battle here, Texans and Colts.
I could start this one.
Yeah, do it.
I'm just going straight Texans. And it may or may not have anything to do with the fact that the Colts haven't won week 1 in like 10 years in a row. Or
really,
something ridiculous. But I've always been somebody on this show to say that streaks are meant to be broken like that, and traditions don't always last over a decade or two. But the Texans are just that good. That's one of the main reasons. And with the addition of Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon, and defense is only going to get better. And Anthony Richardson could have looked better in the preseason. I'll put it that way because I still think he's going to be a stud. But he could have looked better. We'll see. I'm not going to ramble on about this one. We've already gone a bit long in this episode. I'm going to try to keep my opinions on games like this that are like out of my division and stuff a little bit straightforward. So I'm going to the Texans, and I'm just excited to see how these two teams play out this year.
cool. I go next, Adam.
Go for it.
I am gonna. I mean, let me start out by saying, I have really high hopes for Anthony Richardson. I think he's going to be very, very good if he could stay healthy and not take so many hits. Because last year, this guy, I felt like I feel like he felt that he had to prove his toughness a little bit. People saying like, he barely showed like really any, like, he barely put up any good stats at Florida. It was mainly off just like size and like potential, which
Physical
I
tools, yeah.
disagree with. But yeah, I think if this guy learns how to slide and can stay out of bounds and get out of bounds and stay healthy, I think Anthony Richardson could be a beast in this league for a real long time. And I think this Colts team could be really good this year. However, Anthony Richardson is not CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is an absolute beast. And I think by the end of the year, we'll be having conversations. Is he a top 3 quarterback? Does he overlap? Does he overtake Allen and Burrow? I think that'll be a real conversation at the end of the year. And I have them winning this game against the Colts.
I think We can have that conversation right now.
I agree. That's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that.
It's not ridiculous to say that.
Yeah, I love Stroud. I think he is. I mean, how many picks did he throw last year? Like 6?
Yeah.
Like as a
And
rookie,
none until like week 9.
he's ridiculous. And I'm so happy the Texans, finally got, well, not even finally got their guy, just rebounded after the Deshaun Watson trade and just found a better quarterback. Stroud is going to be way better for the Texans than Deshaun Watson ever was.
Not ridiculous to say that.
I'm just saying.
All right, Adam, what are your thoughts?
I'll keep mine short and sweet. I'm gonna go the Texans as well. Y'all know I'm a CJ Stroud guy. I want to see him do well.
I feel like
Spoiler alert,
we all
yeah,
love.
yeah. Spoiler alert for the post on Instagram. Stroud is my MVP pick for this year, so I'm hoping he balls out.
He was mine also. Yeah.
Yes, sir, he was.
Same way.
But yeah, I think the Colts could make this interesting. I really don't know what we're going to see from Anthony Richardson yet. I still feel like there's room for him to improve, but I do think the sky's the limit for Richardson this year. I think he could have a really good sophomore season, and it was a shame he was only limited to however many games he played last year. But I really think he could look good in this offense. But for this game, I mean, gotta go with the Texans.
True.
So, all right. Next up, we have the Cardinals at the Bills. It is the first game in the career of Marvin Harrison Jr. And I'll start this one out. This is my upset of the week. I'm going with the Cardinals to win this game.
Oh. You ruined the fun of this being my upset of the week.
No way. No way.
Well,
no, you're good, Adam.
okay. But I thought about this. I was looking at a few possible upsets on this week 1 slate because, the out of the ordinary happens in week 1. We know that. And I'm looking at this Buffalo team, and they have a lot of question marks coming into this year. How is Josh Allen going to lead this team? How are they going to be without Stephon Diggs? Sean McDermott's already on the hot seat. They're starting DeMar Hamlin. So
That's crazy. Just saying starting tomorrow.
Starting DeMar Hamlin in with a bunch of like glaring negatives.
I mean, am I wrong? He's no disrespect to Hamlin.
No, dude, that was just
not that good.
How's Josh Allen gonna play? Starting tomorrow. That's wild.
Anyway, I had to make my own iconic DeMar Hamlin quote on this show.
But
anyways, yeah, I got the Cardinals. I think they're gonna go out and make a statement. I love their offense this year. Kyler, James Conner, Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison Jr. I think they have Zay Jones too. I think they're gonna be solid. At least their offense will be.
Valid.
Luke, I'll let you go because I feel like I kind of ruined your pick, and I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, please. It's all right. It was actually more of a spontaneous decision that I had a second to take back, but I'm not going to. Why not? And I'm okay with being wrong about this one, but this is the most intriguing kind of random matchup. The Cardinals and the Bills. Phoenix could not be hotter. Buffalo could not be colder. Two teams I've never seen grouped in the same sentence before. That's why I think everybody's going to underthink this one and say, oh, the Bills are the Bills, Josh Allen. But Jonathan Gannon had the Cardinals in some games last year that they should not have been in. I'm not even going to say the Steelers, whatever. But like multiple games.
Valid. That's valid.
It was like they should have been dead in the second quarter. But like they had the other team fighting for their first downs just to kneel out the clock at the end. And the Bills are one of those teams that makes those mistakes. And as much as I love to hate on him, I actually know, yes, that Josh Allen is extremely valuable and actually physically maybe the most gifted quarterback in the league. But listen, it doesn't change the fact that for all his touchdowns, and he does throw a heck of a lot of touchdowns, he gets himself into trouble. And he'll get himself out of trouble most of the time. But against a weird, scrappy team like this, who is probably being completely counted out, it could happen. And I'm willing to throw a couple I'm willing to go out on the line for it. I'm willing to call it my upset of the week.
Sure. Um, listen, I agree with everything you guys are saying, especially about Jonathan Gannon having this team ready. And I am so pumped to see Marvin Harrison Jr. play. I was a huge fan of his dad, one of my favorite receivers ever. Um, but I think Highmark Stadium, or I think Orchard Park is like under the radar, one of the hardest places to play in the league. Um, and I think I just don't really have faith in this Cardinal defense, to be honest with you, to be able to stop Josh Allen on the road. And once again, I'll reiterate, I agree with you guys made great points. But I think Josh Allen is just gonna even if he throws picks, these are the games he just gets it done. And yeah, my gut's telling me the Bills. So I'm going with the Bills. I would love to pick the Cardinals, but I'm gonna go with Buffalo.
Someone should probably pick the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When in doubt, you're going to probably be right, Dante, but Luke and I will have a little fun with it.
Hey, I'd be happy to be wrong. I'd be sick. But
All
ooh,
right.
what a good one.
This will be fun. We've got Penn State legend Will Levis against Oklahoma legend Caleb Williams.
Now, might I just add, exactly 1 year ago, if we looked at Titans Bears week 1 and said, "Ooh, this will be fun," I would have asked what drugs you were on. But this year,
Justin Fields and Ryan Tannehill.
it's intriguing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who wants to start? I can
I'll
go.
start.
Go, Dante.
First of all, let me just say, um, I am a huge Will Levis fan. After I think I've mentioned this before on the pod, but seeing him live against the Steelers, man, he looked good. And people are underrating him. I think he's the future of this Titans team. And another thing people sleep on is this Titans receiving core. I know they have no elite guys, but you got D Hop, who's I think still has some left in the tank. You got uh who's they
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley and Tyler Boyd. Those are
Mhm.
three solid guys. And
You
I
can
think
also get Traylon Burks too if he could somehow
Traylon Burks.
figure it out.
And I wouldn't dare try to pronounce or remember the name of their tight end from memory.
Oh, yeah, that guy with a huge last name. And
He's
then
good.
yeah, he's a solid tight end. And of course, Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard at running back. And their defense is even good. Acquiring L'Jarius Sneed. People forget about that. He's on the Titans.
You just got Ernest Jones too, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you look at the other side with the Bears, and one of the most talked about teams all offseason. Obviously, you got Caleb Williams, Odunze, Moore, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet. I could go on, and then that defense is really not bad at all. You got Tremaine Edmonds, you got Jalen Johnson just signed an extension, and you got Kevin Byard at safety, and some other core pieces on that Bears defense. This one's a tough one. It's honestly a toss up for me, but I'm going to take Caleb Williams and the Bears to win this game. Even though I could totally see Will Levis having a game, I'm going to go with the Bears. I'm so excited to see them how that offense fares because Caleb Williams looked filthy in the preseason as expected and as he should. And yeah, I'm going to take the Bears here.
Luke, can I go?
Yeah.
Shout out Panthers legend DJ Moore. I wish he was still in the team, but I'm also happy we got Bryce Young. Anyways, I will be agreeing with Dante and going with the Bears here. I am really excited to see how this offense is going to work. This whole team, they really showed some signs of improvement toward the end of last season. I know it started out really bad, but Justin Fields looked a lot better toward the end of last year, and it showed that this team could work, whether it was through Fields or with a different quarterback. And I think Bears fans will be very happy with Caleb Williams. I know everyone here but me has Caleb winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. So you guys do agree he's going to be good.
You had Harrison Jr., right?
I
Yeah.
do.
Yep.
Also
I
fair.
wanted to go with a non-QB just for fun, but
Hey, I'd love that.
fair enough. Thank you. I will be going the Bears for this game though, but I think the Titans can make it interesting for sure.
Yeah, this one's tough. Um, hmm. I think I'm gonna go the Titans.
All right.
I
Valid.
just think there's a higher percent chance that they have it tighter together this week. They have a little bit better of a game plan. They have a defensive minded head coach now. That might be enough just off of the randomness of nobody has played him yet to kind of stifle whatever the Bears may have up their sleeve. And man, uh, I'm not even going to say it's boom or bust because I mean anybody could be as great as advertised or be surprisingly disappointing. But I think that Bears offense could be deadly. You just don't know these things, and we know what we've seen from Will Levis. He has some sort of confidence that I, I don't know how James Franklin didn't see it. I'll put it that way. Don't get me started on that. But I'm gonna go with the Titans. I think that like I said, I want to see how much DeAndre Hopkins has left. I really don't think the running back situation is that bad. I think they did an excellent job replacing Derrick Henry. I don't know what it was that made Tony Pollard not as productive as expected last year for Dallas, but Spears is going to be very good for them. And like you said, they have a defense that is off the radar, and like I said, a defensive minded head coach. I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong about this one. I really don't know. It was kind of a split second decision, but I have slightly more confidence in the Bears, or excuse me, in the Titans, in what I know.
True.
I think you saw what I sent you.
Yeah, I saw. Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, we were just making a joke about the Steelers.
I can start this one.
Yeah, go for it, Luke.
I am going Miami until proven otherwise. I have concrete opinions about both of these teams. I think the Jaguars are a little bit overly confident in the fact that I'm sure they are thinking that they are going to be good. I'm not sure they're going to be. I had them in fourth place. I think people are going to assume that the Dolphins are going to get worse. I don't think they're going to. I had them in second place, but a lot of people have them in third. Uh, and in Hard Rock, there's been a lot of excitement this offseason just over the personalities. Harry Kill is a big personality. He got paid. Tua Tagovailoa got paid. Uh, Mike McDaniel now looks like, you know, you've all seen that viral picture of him now that Miami has changed him, and I think they're going to be good again. I don't really see any reason they won't be, and I'm not. The Jaguars have question marks all over the field, so
I got a good one for you about Mike McDaniel, Luke. He looks like he's straight out of GTA.
I don't. Yeah, yeah. So that's the kind of swagger that the Jags just don't have anywhere on the roster, really.
yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins here. Uh, Luke pretty much took the words out of my mouth. How they're like overly confident and I think overrated. Um, but you're nodding your head. I see you agree.
I think I'd liken them to like the Chargers before anybody realized, oh wait, this team's not very good.
Valid, totally valid. Yeah, I think Herbert and Lawrence are very similar quarterbacks in terms of like how they're viewed publicly. Um, but yeah, I'm going Dolphins here. I think Tyreek's gonna have a game, but like that goes without saying because that guy always has a good game. But yeah, I'm going Dolphins.
My Tyreek Hill Offensive Player of the Year agenda starts here. I will agree with you guys and go with Miami.
Nice.
I'll keep it at that. Sorry, Luke. I know you probably don't like me giving Offensive Player of the Year to Tyreek Hill. That's just what I'm thinking.
It it's valid, it's possible.
All right. Anyways, we're officially on to the 4 p.m. slate. First game of the two 4:05 p.m. Eastern time games. I used to, I remember once saying the 4 p.m. slate was the best one, but it's also where I kind of fall asleep, but still I'm interested to watch some football.
You know, I agreed with you last year, but I really joined Luke. I think it's the 1 p.m.
I agree
I
now.
have always been a avid 1 p.m. slate defender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on that train now because now it's like, you watch 1 p.m. and then 4 p.m. slate is where you're kind of interested, but when it's where you're getting your nap in for the Sunday night game, usually.
I will say watching 4 p.m. football after your team wins is the best feeling of all time.
That's true.
But watching it after they lose is the worst. Like,
Makes me want to go and grab a beer from the fridge.
yeah, very true. Yeah.
But
All right. Well,
anyways, I guess I'll start for this one. If y'all don't know, I'm not very high on Denver at all this year. I'd like to see Bo Nix do well, but I am not a very big Sean Payton fan. I'm not a very big Broncos fan. That being said, I have my question marks about the Seahawks, but I definitely think they're a better team than the Broncos, and I think they can take care of business in this game. So give me Seattle. And let me add, they're wearing those beautiful 90s throwbacks for this game. The Seahawks.
Yeah. So I go next if you're cool with that, Luke.
yeah.
But yeah, I will definitely be tuned into the Russell Wilson Bowl. Um, but yeah, I agreed with everything Adam said. I mean, not that I don't have faith in the Broncos, but I don't have faith in the Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I think Bo Nix could be good. But once again, home field advantage is definitely a factor here. CenturyLink or whatever it's called now, Seattle's home field is definitely a tough place to play.
Lumen Field, I think.
Lumen Field. Thank you.
I'll
And
always remember it as CenturyLink, though.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, wearing their throwbacks, as Adam said, my favorite uniforms in the league. So sick. But yeah, I think Gino will have a good game. And then their receiving core, obviously. Uh Seattle's defense does scare me a little bit, but luckily they're playing a rookie quarterback who doesn't have many weapons. So yeah, I'll take the Seahawks here.
I'm going to make it a clean sweep. Seahawks. I thought about it for a second because I'm a little bit higher on Denver than most, and I'm a little bit lower on Seattle than most, but not going to overthink this one. Seattle has a very unique home field advantage, and they're definitely the more established, less question marks team. So I'll go with Seattle.
Before we go on to the next game, Dante, I want to read you a tweet from ML Football. It says, and this will get you hyped up for Sunday. It says, news. Falcons head coach Raheem Morris says he is determined to keep Steelers OLB TJ Watt from dominating Sunday's game. In quotes, I am not going to let him go out there and wreck the game. And it says, this has never worked on TJ.
Oh, man. Are you? I can only laugh. We'll see. We'll see.
Hopefully the Falcons win the hard one.
I won't hype up too much, but we'll see. We'll see. And it's never worked. But
right.
If he shuts down TJ, still got Highsmith, still got Hayward,
yeah,
Patrick Queen.
You can shut down one guy, but you still got others.
Benton, and that's just the front seven. So yeah, you could stop TJ, but Alex is going to come get him, so it's fine. But you're not going to stop TJ. Raheem Morris, if you're watching this, you're not stopping TJ. Anyway.
Raheem Morris, avid WG watcher.
Dude, that's how he gets his.
He's definitely watching this right now. Like, come on, are you kidding me?
He's like, no.
He's like that meme of the guy. Like,
anyway,
all right, we got to move along this 4 p.m. slate a little bit. This episode's getting up there.
Nothing more.
Let's like, for example, this game. I'm just gonna yawn right through it.
To say nothing more like a real 4 p.m. snooze fest like this game.
Yeah.
Chargers and Raiders. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea who I'm gonna go with, so I'll let you guys go first.
I'll go. I think I'm gonna take the Raiders. All day I was like, I think I'll take the Chargers, but something now is telling me pick the Raiders. They have more offensive weapons than the Chargers do. I think Ladd McConkey could be good. I think I wouldn't say their defense is better. I think the Chargers have a better defense, but Max Crosby's still Max Crosby, and I think I'm going to take the Raiders here. maybe I'll call this my upset of the week, but no one's really calling an upset on the Chargers versus the Raiders. But anyway,
Fair enough.
I'll just get it out of the way. I'm going the Raiders as well.
wow.
I kind of believe in what I kind of believe in what Harbaugh is going to do with the Chargers, but nothing comes together that fast. And I don't think Aiden O'Connell is quite as awful as people assume he is.
Well, isn't it Minshew?
I'm not even. What'd you say?
Isn't it Minshew?
It is Minshew.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Better
I
than
just picked the team
O'Connell.
without no starting quarterback.
Hey, I think he's
Yeah,
better than Aiden
I'm
O'Connell.
going the Raiders. Yeah, he probably is too. I'm going the Raiders.
Y'all have convinced me. I will go with Vegas too. I was thinking
Wow.
Chargers, but you know
We're all
what?
gonna sink on this ship together, huh?
Yeah.
Something tells me that, week one jitters with Harbaugh and Justin Herbert maybe not knowing it's going to be a handoff offense because, being a Big Ten fan, Ohio State, Penn State, watching Jim Harbaugh's Michigan team play both teams, we know he likes handing off the football. We saw it an awful lot with J.J. McCarthy and Blake Corum last year. I'm pretty sure. What was the stat, Luke, with McCarthy in the fourth quarter against Penn State? He didn't throw it or something?
And throw the ball once.
0 pass attempts.
That's
0, I thought.
Oh my God.
That worked at the college level because you had Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards, but I don't know if it's going to work with Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. I love J.K. Dobbins, but we'll see. College is, or NFL is a different game than college. But for now, I'm also going Vegas because, sorry to interrupt you, Luke. I was going to say Antonio Pierce, first game as the full-time head coach. He's got some doubters out there saying that was a bad decision by Vegas. He wants to go out there and prove them wrong. They've got some extra motivation on their side. Maybe this is a more entertaining game than I thought.
Yeah.
Don't get too ahead of yourself.
Were you
Oh,
going to say something, Luke?
I was just gonna say, I remember like season 1, we would all randomly all pick the Vikings, the Raiders, and like every single time we did that, we were wrong.
yeah. I remember
Like
that.
quite often.
Yeah. Like
It happened
it was weird.
more than a few times.
I remember that, Luke. Holy shit.
So, anyways, this is an interesting game.
All right. One of the most annoying fan bases takes on Dante's worst favorite team. This will be fun. This is going to be an interesting game because you got the Cowboys and their crazy offseason they just had versus the Browns in Cleveland. I think this is another game I have to listen to y'all before I make a decision.
I'll go first.
Go for it.
Go for it.
The Cowboys are going to shit stomp the Browns.
Okay.
Beat the brakes off them, dude. Deshaun Watson's going to struggle. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys offense slightly struggles against a really good Browns defense. No matter how much I hate the Browns, I always be like, they have a good defense because they do. But this Cowboy offense, especially during the regular season, I'm not going to talk about the postseason, but yeah, the Cowboys are going to beat the shit out of the Browns. I'm sorry. And I can't wait to see it.
All right.
I can go too. I will just agree.
Sick.
Maybe with less of the verbs, I'll just agree. And the adjectives.
Hey,
I have the Cowboys.
I get passionate about hating the Browns, so you understand.
Makes sense.
All right. This time your convincing did not work. I'll go Cleveland for this one.
Ooh.
I deserve it. But I mean, it's gonna be close. Y'all gotta admit it. Well, okay, maybe not Dante. Maybe Dante won't.
No, it'll be a good game. Shit stomp was maybe a little bit too far, but yeah, it's Cowboys win.
It's your worst favorite team, man. I hope the Phillies do that to the Mets every time they play.
Maybe that's wishful thinking, but yeah,
Maybe.
I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like this is the type of game the Browns win, but I could be wrong. I remember starting off really badly in week 1 last year. So,
all right.
All right.
Damn, dude,
That's
there's
the
so many
fourth
games.
game. This is a 425 game, and yeah, whoopee, I'm really looking forward to this one. Commanders and Bucks. This is the debut game for Jaden Daniels. This is the debut head coaching game. I guess no, I guess not debut, but it's been a while for Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn. The Buccaneers have lost a lot of coaches, and I know that because they all came here. All the offensive coaches, at least. But I think the Bucks are still going to win this game. I mean, I will be honest. I was very close to picking Washington as my upset of the week, but I couldn't bring myself to do it because it's the Commanders. We talked about how they've got a bunch of fun names on their team, a lot of veterans, blast from the past, but the rest of the team just isn't that good. I don't get why people just don't. I mean, I guess everyone agrees, but no one really says it. Anyways, I think the Bucks will win. Maybe it's close, but I feel like Baker can get the job done in this game.
I agree with Adam. I'll take the Bucks here.
Yeah, me as well. I've always said the Bucks have one of the more underrated home field advantages, and I don't think it's going to change. It's just consistency. I don't know how Dan Quinn's going to do, but the Bucks put points on the board. Chris Godwin has always been reliable. Mike Evans has always been reliable. Maybe they're due for a regression, but uh, not this game.
All right, we made it to Sunday Night Football. Cue the music. Waiting all day for Sunday night. And we've got a playoff rematch here and a fun one. The Rams and the Lions from last year's wild card game. I believe the Lions won 23-22 or 24-23. It was by 1 point.
Yeah.
That was a fun game last year, and I feel like this game is going to be a lot of fun this year. I saw a tweet that said the first second the scoreboard operator throws a picture of Matt Stafford or the Staffords on the scoreboard, the whole crowd's going to go crazy. So
one way or another.
Detroit, yeah, Detroit shows up for their team, and I think they're going to show up and help the Lions start out 1-0. I think Detroit will beat the Rams once again.
Luke.
Yeah. It was fun picking against the Rams, picking for the Rams in their first matchup against the Lions after that trade. It was fun picking the Rams last year in the playoffs, but they didn't reward us on any of those picks. I'm over it. I'm picking the Lions. They are simply the better team, and the Rams could win this game, but I was going out on a limb for them the past couple of times. I had been picking them against the Lions. And last year, the Lions beat the Chiefs week 1, Sunday Night Football. I think Jared Goff still has to prove some people wrong, and the fact that he's still going to be as productive as he was last year, and as he has been trending towards. So and they're going to want to make a statement. The Lions still think they can contend, and I agree. I think they're going to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Lions too, especially at home. I feel like I say that about every team I pick, especially at home, But in this case, I think it's true. Yeah, Lions, very good football team. Had the Rams number last year. I expect Matt Stafford and Amon-Ra St. Brown, that whole offense, and frankly the whole defense, the whole team is going to play very well in this game. They came out last year and started off the season incredibly, and I expect them to do the same in this game. So yeah, Lions.
All right, one more game, and here we go. Y'all know my second favorite team, I guess. It's the home team in this game. Maybe I'll have my mom bring out my McCaffrey Niners jersey when she comes up for the football game this weekend so I can wear it Monday. That'd be cool. But we got the Jets and the Niners on Monday Night Football. And y'all may be thinking this is any normal matchup, right? But if you remember last year, there's one man by the name of Leonard Floyd who played for the Buffalo Bills and took out a certain man's Achilles and now plays for the 49ers.
Aaron Rodgers, you get. 1 minute this year, not 30 seconds.
We'll see. I mean, is that really gonna happen again? Probably not.
That'd be sad.
That would be awful. I would feel so bad for Jets fans if that happened again. Luke would, but I would. But I've got the 49ers.
As a football fan, I can, hope to see good football played.
Fair enough. I've got the Niners winning this game. The Jets won the game last year against the Bills, but I feel like the Niners are a much better team than the Bills are.
Forgot
Especially
about that.
yeah, the what was the guy's name that had the kick return to end the game? I can't remember.
Well, and there was some guy with 3 interceptions.
Yeah. Well, if you guys remember, let me know. But
Oh, Jordan Whitehead had 3 picks. He went to school in where we're from. I won't say that on the internet, but he went to school in like an area. So
yeah.
pretty
Yeah, I
cool.
seem to remember that.
But anyway, McCaffrey's gonna go off. Give me the Niners.
Luke,
I'm going to pick the Niners, and it is not because of my opinions on the Jets, although I have a lot. They can't bank on 3 interceptions this year, I'm sure. And the Bills have always been a high-powered team, but the Jets are not going to get that lucky this year. The 49ers are just way too well of an oiled machine, and I have my question marks about the Jets, so I'm picking the 49ers, which is me being really kind to them, not saying anything other than that.
this whole time
But do it if you want.
I was gonna pick the Jets. But within the past like 10 to 15 seconds, I'm like, what am I doing? I gotta pick the 49ers here. So yeah. No upset, no upset for me, but yeah, give me the Niners. I think, yeah.
That is a good
Settles
choice.
it. Now, I will just ask for, if nothing else, Instagram's sake, what would everybody have as their lock of the week?
Lock of the week.
Sorry, Luke, but Bengals.
That one's tough. Let me look back. Oh, Cowboys. That's my
Can you just go through one more time? Oh, actually, I don't know. I'm thinking
that one could be one.
that's what I was leaning towards. I'm gonna pick the Dolphins as my lock of the week.
Cool. Sweet.
All right, we have never been more back.
We've never been more back.
You're so back.
All right. Well, I think that does it. We've been on here for a while. This is one of the longer WG episodes we've had in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Hey, it's week one. We want to give our thoughts.
Totally.
Yeah, we can trim it down a bit next time.
Yeah.
Especially because we'll have more context.
Yeah, for sure. And we won't have to reiterate like, oh, here's this team got, here's that team got, But anyway, I think that does it.
That does it. Adam, the 22-year-old Adam.
Dante, the 21-year-old Dante.
And the 20-year-old Luke.
Peace out, y'all.
You two go have a beer.
Steelers, baby. Hey, Browns.